Good morning, Dallas Stars hockey fans. This is Jeff with the Dallas Stars Hockey Minute. Well, the Battle of Alberta went very well. We picked up both 2 points in both Edmonton and Calgary. Now, the Edmonton game, I was a little concerned with. We started out like a 3-0 lead, and we did let Edmonton back in. Now I have to say that I don't want to be that guy, but there were some referee calls that I thought were questionable. But as a fan of hockey, you don't want to be that guy always blaming it on referees or whatever. But there were a couple of questionable calls, and that was some of the sports writers were writing those kind of things too, but I'm grateful that we were able to get out of there without going into overtime. Even though they did not have their best two players in the lineup, Edmonton still played a good game, without Draisaitl and McDavid. And Jake Ottinger, once again played incredible. But the wonderful thing was two hat tricks this year for Jason Robertson. I keep thinking to myself, if he didn't have that foot surgery earlier in the season, uh, I think they would be talking Hart Trophy for him easily. I mean, he still got 32 goals this year. You know, in the other game, he picked up a couple. He picked up a goal or so as well. But the thing is, I still think he's going to hit 40 goals, even though he didn't have his full capacity till probably about late January is when everything started coming together for him. And then Wyatt Johnston continuing to play the way that he does. And in the game against Calgary last night, they were out shooting us and goaltending, both the goaltenders, to Smith and Ottinger. We've had a really good tandem of goaltenders this year. I think they had like 48 shots on goal to our like 25 or something. And we came out with the win 5-2. Both these games were great. We picked up points, and we've actually had 4 wins in a row. And I can't believe that Winnipeg lost to Buffalo a couple nights ago. They picked up a win. We are now 4 points away from catching up to them right now. I don't know if we're going to do it or not. There's still like 11 games, 10 to 11 games for both of these teams left. But I'm wondering, there's one more game in Winnipeg that Winnipeg comes to Dallas towards the end of this towards the end of the season, and I'm wondering if that game is going to be like actual high noon. Are we going to be like so close in point values at that point that might be the game that ends up deciding who wins the whole division or who even wins the whole Western Conference at that point? It's going to be interesting to see if we can keep up what we're doing, because we play Seattle on Saturday, and Seattle hasn't had the greatest season, but Seattle still has good players. It's that time of the year where the teams that aren't going to make the playoffs are going to play that pride game where they want to kind of see if they can stick it to the teams that are going to make the playoffs. That's something that you have to consider. And the one thing that isn't been very consistent, and it's kind of sad, is the starts. We haven't been starting fast out the gate. We got to get better at that. Even Pete DeBoer, the head coach of the Stars, have been talking about how he's happy. We're all happy with the results. We're winning games, but we need to get faster starts because we're better than this. And thank God for the goaltending on both these games to bail us out, because they had both these teams had really good looks at our goaltender this go around on both goaltenders, and they both bailed us out quite a bit. So that's something that I'm hoping that we learn from both of these games. So like I said, going into Seattle, they're definitely not making the playoffs this year, but pride is on the line. This close to the end of the year. Every team that isn't going to make the playoffs, that's probably what their mental. That's usually what their mentality is. It's we may not be making it, but let's raise a little hell for the teams that are. Anyway, this is Jeff with the Dallas Stars Hockey Minute. I'm super grateful that we did have a really good Battle of Alberta. Got both the 4 points that we needed to get out of that Canadian trip on the way to Seattle, and not very much time left, guys. We got about probably 3 weeks of hockey left before the playoffs start. Anyway, go Stars.